Hello everyone, my name is Maria. For centuries, the Amish have lived in a world apart, guarded by tradition, faith, and a deliberate separation from modern life. This seclusion has naturally sparked an intense fascination in the outside world. We look at their buggies, their dress, and their refusal of technology, but our curiosity often turns to their most private moments. Perhaps nothing is more shrouded in sensationalized myth than the Amish wedding night. From reality TV shows to urban legends, we've heard stories of bundling and strange rituals designed to test purity. But when we look past the headlines, the truth is often much simpler, and in many ways, more profound. Today, we're going behind the curtain to understand what really happens when the candles go out. This isn't just about a different culture, it's about how we all manage expectations and the start of a life together. To understand the wedding night, we have to understand the journey leading up to it. Most outsiders know about Rumspringa, the period when Amish youth are allowed to experience the world before committing to the church. During this time, courtship happens. It's a time of intense social activity, late-night buggy rides, and singing. While the world imagines this as a time of wild rebellion, for the majority, it is a time of quiet discernment. By the time an Amish couple reaches their wedding day, they have made a deliberate, conscious choice to reject the individualistic focus of the modern world in favor of a life centered on community and faith. Their marriage is not just a union of two people, it is a reaffirmation of their entire way of life. This set of shared values is the silent passenger on their wedding night. An Amish wedding is not a small, intimate affair. It is a massive community operation, often involving over 200, sometimes 400 guests. The day starts at dawn and lasts well over 12 hours. There are multiple services, hours of singing, and a feast that takes days to prepare and hours to consume. By the time the couple is finally alone, the reality is dictated by something far less cinematic than rituals: sheer physical exhaustion. In psychology, we often talk about the wedding day hangover, the emotional crash that follows a high-pressure event. For the Amish, this is multiplied by the labor-intensive nature of their celebration. The world imagines high drama, but the couple is often simply looking for rest. The intimacy of their first night begins not with a ritual, but with the shared relief of a day successfully navigated together. Let's address the elephant in the room, the myth of bundling. This is the historical practice of a couple sharing a bed with a wooden board between them or being sewn into sacks to prevent physical contact while still allowing for conversation. While this custom did exist in some early American and European communities as a practical solution to staying warm in unheated houses, it is virtually non-existent in modern Amish wedding nights. Pop culture has clung to this image because it makes the Amish feel other and strange, but in reality, it is a relic of the past. By continuing to tell these stories, we ignore the actual values the Amish prioritize: privacy and modesty. Their wedding night is not a performance for the community or a test of willpower. It is a private transition into adulthood and partnership, free from the gimmicks the media loves to highlight. In our modern culture, we view the wedding night as a total escape, a flight to a secret honeymoon location where we are finally free from the eyes of others. For the Amish, there is no such flight. Traditionally, the couple spends their first night in the home of the bride's parents. To us, this lack of privacy might seem stifling or even invasive, but from a psychological perspective, it reinforces a core Amish belief. Marriage is not an escape from the community, but a deeper embedding within it. The presence of the family nearby is a reminder that the couple is not an island. They are part of a support system that will sustain them through the hardships of life. The wedding night isn't a temporary fantasy. It's the quiet center of a very loud circle of lifelong commitment and communal accountability. One of the unique traditions of the first evening is the opening of gifts. Unlike the registry items we might expect, fine china or luxury gadgets, Amish gifts are almost exclusively practical: tools for the farm, handmade quilts, seeds for the garden, and livestock. This focus on the practical over the passionate sets the psychological tone for their entire future. It grounds the relationship in reality from the very first hour. Many modern couples struggle when the high of the wedding ends and the mundane reality of bills and chores begins. The Amish skip the fantasy phase entirely. They start their marriage by looking at the tools they will use to build their life together. This lack of a honeymoon phase, in the traditional sense, means they aren't chasing an unsustainable feeling. they are building a sustainable life. What happens the next morning is perhaps the most striking contrast to the modern wedding experience. There is no breakfast in bed or sleeping in. Instead, the new couple wakes up at the usual early hour, often 4 or 5 a.m., to help the family clean up the massive remnants of the wedding feast. This immediate return to shared labor is a profound psychological statement. It says that love is not found in the absence of work, but within it. By starting their marriage with the act of cleaning and serving others, they are establishing that their union is defined by service, not just self-gratification. In my practice, I often see the post-wedding depression hit couples hard. The Amish avoid this by never leaving the rhythm of their life. Their wedding night isn't the peak of their relationship. It's just another day in a life dedicated to shared work and shared faith. So, why is the Amish wedding night nothing like we think? Because our expectations are built on a culture of individualism and romantic fantasy. We want the magic of a single night to carry us through a lifetime. The Amish approach teaches us that the strength of a marriage doesn't come from the intensity of the wedding night, but from the depth of the foundation. They prioritize community over isolation, practicality over passion, and service over self. We might not want to live in their world, but we can certainly learn from their clarity. Their traditions remind us that when we lower the pressure on the perfect moment, we create more space for a perfect commitment. Simple is not a lack of depth, it is a choice to focus on what actually lasts. The true mystery of the Amish wedding night isn't a ritual, it's the peace that comes from knowing exactly who you are and where you belong. As you think about your own relationships, ask yourself, are you building a fantasy or are you building a foundation? Thank you for joining me on this exploration of another way of life. Subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the psychology of tradition and family, and let me know in the comments, what part of the Amish tradition surprised you the most? I want to hear your thoughts. I'm Maria, and remember, the most profound truths are often the simplest. Until next time, be brave, be you. Farewell.